Okay folks, welcome back to the channel. So we had an update go out last night regarding Station and what's kind of going on and developing with that. We've got an update. It's not the update that you want, and it's simply just don't interact with any of the system sites that are available. We don't know what has become compromised at this point. What they're saying is they don't know what's happened during that downtime, and to be quite honest, I think they're confused and they're buying time themselves to figure out what happened and what went wrong. So what are other people saying across board about this? Well, if we look at the L1 paid development team, they're simply saying this is a good opportunity for the LUNC community to move to the community station. I think this is very poor wording on Gevik's part, and I'm going to call it out. They're saying it's a good opportunity to move to Hexagon infrastructure. I don't believe anybody has the right to say it's a good opportunity to move to somewhere else that, you know, is built by a group of people that are renowned in what they have done more than what they have done recently. I think it's such a hard way to put this, but ultimately, right, we don't know anything about anything. If there was a rug pull, for example, and all of the funds suddenly started to disappear off chain, what are we going to do? Go to the police and go, oh yeah, you know, there was this one guy called Raider and another guy called Superman, and you know, there's this guy called Bilbo and another guy called Faffy. The police are going to be laughing. They're going to be like, are you reading out superhero names or just fictional characters? It's not going to look good. Now, what are other people saying? Well, Will Shen's jumping on this whole situation, which I've been speaking about, is as LUNC is made weaker, they keep crushing the price, they keep making bad decisions. People like Will Shen are going to come forward and they're going to say, hey, you know, you can't do this, this, and this unless you do this, or a chain reset. Now, the reason why I've taken note of this is because TFL have taken note of USTC in the past month. They've been mentioning it in their spaces. My biggest worry right now is USTC would have a absolute field day if allowed to go to Luna, for example, and start the repeg over there in that environment. The likelihood of it working over there is high in comparison to it working over here. And the reason why is we've got too much USTC being paid out on a regular basis. Every time you would try to activate that incremental repeg, you would have mass holders sell their bags, let it drop, and they buy their bags again and then ride it back up. And then what are they going to do? They're going to do it over and over and over again. And they're just going to drain whatever liquidity you're putting in. They're going to take it each time. The reason why this would likely happen is because the repeg is so obvious. It's out there. They know it's happening. This whole situation with TFL not helping us, doing everything that they can to put us down, make us look stupid, make us look like we haven't got a chance in order to get as many people as they can to move from LUNC over to Luna, because that's still the aim of the game, is to get everybody migrated from this old chain to the new chain. We're seen as people that are diehards, don't want to move, will refuse to give in to the Luna chain and are still here building. Saying that, you know, a lot of people just want to get rich quick is proof and hard evidence that people like Will Shen have a zero understanding of what's going on this blockchain. In fact, their understanding runs as deep as the top 5 validators. Now, what is a shock to me is that the majority of the top 5 validators don't even know what projects are working on chain, what projects are building, who's building what, who's doing what. They just don't know because they don't have the time to spend here in LUNC. Now, with Gevik doing this, it's once again, we're always being forced into a corner, aren't we? We're always being pushed into this corner. Oh, well, you know, this is down, that's down. Now, the biggest issue I'm finding with all of this is if the L1 team had done what was proposed and passed via governance, we wouldn't be in this position because we'd have our own assets that's owned by governance, that is updatable for pull requests, a repository that we actually own. So right now we're hopeless as a blockchain, right? We're hopeless because our legacy infrastructure is owned by Luna, meaning we need them to fix things, to update things, to get it all back online. Once again, now waiting for TFL. So I don't believe the easier option and the good opportunity to transition to Hexagon Station. I don't think this is okay. I don't think it's okay that they see this as a solution. We've got serious problems in this community, and you know, the paid development teams, they just don't care. Change is coming and change is ahead, but only if the community can get together and get validators to actually vote on things, get things pushed through. And then on top of that, we need governance to be obeyed, right? Everything that we want to do is all subject to governance and having teams that are paid to do jobs that have been assigned via governance. Our biggest issue is we don't see that. These paid development teams, they don't care. They wouldn't come up in a Twitter space yesterday to simply ask questions about the United Vision. Why? Because they don't care, because it's all irrelevant to them, because they'll do what they want to do. And the image perceived to them now is we can do whatever we want. They can't stop us. The validators aren't getting involved. They're not taking sides. So guess what? We can just continue to do this. And that's the level we're at. That's what other people are seeing. And you know, this whole trying to get rich quick. If we were trying to get rich quick, you know, we would have made the 13x and people like myself would have walked. We'd have been gone. We wouldn't have still been here holding the bag. My son, when he was a little bit younger, he would do things like this. He would say things just because he knew to get a reaction. Very smart, very intelligent young man. Now, I find people like this are lacking the attention that they want, and they're acting like a child. They're going around, they're slating other people's projects, and ultimately, you know, once again, another person who claims to be a prophet, a person who was going to fix everything. Oh, what did they do? They went off and made their own chain. Is this not like a common thing now? You know, Tobias went off, made his own chain. Ed went off, made his own chain. Multiple developers of this chain have gone off to work with those two developers, including our paid L1 devs. You know, are being paid to work on Docs chain. It's insane. We've got so many people that have gone off and just made blockchain. You know, you've got Entropy, you've got so many of these different people that have claimed to be the future of LUNC. They go off, they make other chains, right? But they keep what power they've got in this community. And, you know, this is all becoming one huge power play where everybody's trying to force LUNC into a corner as to, well, you know, you can't have USTC because you're not going to be able to repeg it. So, you know, just give it to us. Let us deal with it. You know, what are the USTC quant team going to do? Oh, well, you know, we really just want to repeg. So, you know, we're probably just going to want to fork it off to Luna. If they put something up like that to vote, right? The majority of the validators here that hold the most voting power are all Luna builders, developers, and validators. It's all becoming very obvious to me that slowly but surely, people like Will Shen will come forward and they'll start putting these seeds of doubt and sowing mistrust into the community about how USTC can't have this done and it can't have that done. I've raised these concerns with the quant team, and the quant team are like, no, it's not a problem. The biggest issue is I think there's something benevolent going on underneath all of this. I think there's something that runs deeper. When Terraport suggested that we retrieve coins from wallets by accessing them and taking those coins and giving them back to those who had lost them and been scammed, Rabbi was very against this. He was foaming at the mouth. You can go back, you can look at it. It was a block changing state upgrade. It was very dangerous. You know, that's a god line of code. You never want to introduce anything like that into DeFi. It would ruin a blockchain almost instantly. Now, he's not bothered with the quant team. In fact, he's happy that the quant team want to delete USTC coins out of contracts and out of wallets. You know, it's ever so obvious that something weird is going on behind the scenes. And, you know, I know a lot of people are hopeful and, you know, counting on this USTC repeg, but I think you're being oversold things a little bit too much, and there are risks that aren't being addressed. And, you know, when you want something that bad, you will ignore all of the warning signs. You'll ignore everything because you believe what you're doing is going to work no matter what, because it's your idea. It has to work. And, you know, there's too many holes in this bucket. And then you've got people like this. And then, you know, everything is now pushing LUNC into the corner, throwing low blows at it and seeing if it goes down and stays down this time. Hopefully people don't go down and stay down, because it doesn't work like that. We're a strong chain. We can keep pushing forward. And if we start to support the correct validators, right, and stop staking with these top 5 nodes that people just think, oh, you know, they're the top 5 nodes, they must be the most secure, I'll go with them. No, you know, something has to change. And the biggest issue is none of these validators are going to make these changes themselves. And none of them are going to go, oh, you know, I'm going to put my voting power up to 50% and, you know, hopefully that will get us down to about 4%. No. Why would they? No one's telling them off. No one's making them do anything. No one's forcing them. You know, they'll do what they want to do. You know, they'll take what money they want to take, because ultimately they're empowered by the community. But also, I think a lot of people need to understand that, you know, I think a lot of nodes at that level auto compound, you know, a considerable amount of what they get. They buy coins from off chain. They also have 10, 15, 20 other chains, right, which they provide staking to those people, and they'll have LUNC that they'll stake with that validator, and it becomes a real kind of strange situation. But, you know, this situation surrounding this is more of a reason that we should be under our own banner. We should have our own infrastructure. We should have everything that we can update for our own repositories. And I think, you know, there's so many people that are paid, and, you know, people like Gevik who don't understand that what he's asking is for a whole community that doesn't trust Hexagon to go and trust them. And it doesn't work like that. Trust is earned over a long period of time based on your actions and judgment. And based on Hexagon's action and judgment, it doesn't look good. This is really sad to see this. You know, this is like, oh, we can get in. Look, we can use this as an angle. I'm not buying it. We need our own systems. We need our own infrastructure. We need to be self-running, self-sustainable, and self-serving. If we can do this, if we can get aligned better, if we can start to get people like this, right, to actually follow governance instead of acting like they're following governance, maybe we'll get somewhere. Folks, have a nice weekend. It's the only video coming out this weekend just because of this whole station situation. Other than that, stay safe, stay humble, stay aware, and I will catch you in the next one.